Hey, everybody. This is Mandatory Cutscene, a podcast that me and a bunch of my friends decided to do because all we do is talk about video games in our spare time and thought that, hey, why not record it? So, my name is Darren. I have with me Sebastian,
Hello.
Aiden,
Hello.
and Noah.
Hey.
Yeah, so we just thought we would talk about some video games and stuff and what's going on. And yeah, we're just a bunch of, we're like, 30-year-old odd guys living in Toronto that play a lot of games. And so, what we're going to talk about this in our first of hopefully many episodes is the Nintendo Direct that just came out today, March 27th. What we're currently playing right now, a celebrity being added to a fighting game and playing a little game at the end. Oh, and also checking to see what's going on with the Switch 2 and make some predictions for what's going to happen with the Nintendo Direct coming out April 2nd. So, yeah, let's just kick this off. Hey, Sebastian, what are you playing?
Lately I have been diving into the early access release of Tokyo Extreme Racer. I have been kind of craving just a good street racer for a while, and this has really scratched that itch. I think they did a really good job with it.
I never watched Street Racer.
What?
Street Race? No, that's Ridge Race. Never mind.
That's okay. But yeah, it's a solid arcade street racer. It's got a great car list, and they're all licensed cars. But it's just been a good time. You kind of start from the bottom with your kind of basic tuner cars. You build them up, work your way up the list, racing rivals, taking them down on the highways and expressways in Tokyo.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a good time.
I enjoy a good arcade racer. I miss the Burnout franchise.
Burnout was a good one.
Yeah. Burnout was awesome.
Those games are great.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, Aiden?
I've actually just recently got back into Valheim, which is honestly the best way to ever be a Viking, I think, without actually having anyone to go out and Viking, I guess.
Actually, I think that the actually correct way to be the best Viking that you can be is to be a techno Viking.
That's possible. Possible. However, I don't think you've ever actually played Valheim. It's honestly, there's something just so satisfying about the atmosphere and about what you can do with the world around you. It constantly feels like you're in a fight with the environment around you, and it's just, I don't know, it's got a very strong risk reward thing to it, and it's just sometimes just a good game to kind of jump into and just grind away. And
it's survival craft, right? Like you build out your own base and stuff, or
oh yeah, and that's probably one of the best parts about it. So like, again, as a Viking, so much about it is about building your weapons and stuff up like that. And with that in mind, you have to go out and find more resources, just like any other resource gathering, crafting, survival crafting game. But what I find really unique about this is the way they structure the progression through the game is basically the way they structure the progression through the biomes and through the different types of metals that are available. So like as you as you explore more through the world, you get different types of metals. Like you go from copper to bronze to silver, to steel to silver, and so on. So you just constantly feel like you're doing something, which I love.
Okay,
But you're
that
also
seems
doing
like a
it on
cool,
your own
relaxed
terms, which is
game.
neat. Yeah, it's great.
I know that sounds right up your alley, Noah.
Yeah, Valheim. I played Valheim. It's a great game. I don't think I've ever beaten it, but I've played partway through, at least partially. The building part is definitely fun.
How many survival crafting games do you think you guys both own?
I have a fair bit.
At least a dozen.
Yeah, I would have to go look and see how much I have.
Yeah.
I'm guessing between the two of you, at least 30.
I mean, the thing for Valheim is that it was one of those games that released during COVID, and everybody sunk so much time in, or I sunk so much time in it, at least. I don't think everybody did, but it had a really big release. And then by the time I got into it, by the time I was able to finally move past it was when we finally got out of lockdown and stuff. So the ability to finally go back to it now after years of content updates and stuff, it's almost like a new game now.
That does sound pretty cool. I haven't played a lot of those kind of games. I don't know. I get bored. I feel like I just need more dialogue and stuff. But to each their own.
You might actually like Valheim because there's a lot of objectives you have to get.
I also find they can get a little grindy and don't know if tedious is the right word, but they just
Yeah, I
get
think that's
burned out after a while.
Okay.
It definitely depends on their gameplay loop for sure. Some games are better for it than others. And with
Right.
with Valheim having the atmosphere it does, it kind of makes grinding and stuff that much.
I might have to give it a go. I think I have it on Steam actually. Noah,
Yeah.
what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Avowed.
Ooh.
It's great. The world is great. Story's super engaging. Side stories are enjoyable. And normally in RPGs, I find side stories really grindy. For some reason in this one, I don't. I'm really enjoying them. They're a lot of fun, even though there's a lot of running around. But the fast travel points definitely make it a lot easier. So
Yeah, I played through the whole first area of that game without realizing that you could fast travel back to those beacons. I must have skipped something. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it on the map and I was like, oh, this is great. Yes, I don't have to walk everywhere.
But yeah, I actually I was playing a lot of that game. I love that game as well. I think have we all been playing that? Sebastian, you've been playing that.
Yeah, I was playing a bit of Avowed earlier. I kind of fell off it a little bit, but I was having a good time. I was playing a spellcaster. Made it, I don't know, it was maybe like 10 hours or so in.
I do love the
Um,
combat. I think that's the highlight for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the combat in this. It's just challenging enough to be rewarding when you pull it off, I guess, for lack of a better term. But it's not so challenging as to be, frustrating or anything like that.
No, do you have a
Um,
favorite party member?
Ooh. Marius is got an attitude, and I kind of like that. But Yahtzee is just funny. I love the little fur ball.
I've just been sticking with I love Kai
Kai is pretty good
and
too,
his whole
yeah.
arc and stuff. It's great.
Yes, yeah. Kai's arc is pretty cool.
Did you play that one at all, Aiden?
No, I'm more of a fan of the other side of the Bethesda style RPG, which is I've been waiting for Atomfall, which came out today. And honestly, yeah, got to get into that one because there's something about the British post-apocalyptic thing that I know was just recently covered in the new Fallout, not the new, but the unofficial Fallout DLC that came out recently.
oh, the mod.
Fallout London.
London.
Yeah, Fallout London. Yeah. Which I mean to get into that too. I just haven't gotten around to it, but yeah, I really like the concept behind Atomfall. It seems like a really neat area. For the amount that you guys talked about fast travel, it seems to have none of it, which is its own kind of interest. Nobody seems to want to do that anymore. Like so, it's I don't know. I think it's interesting.
It's definitely
Hopefully-
refreshing.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't mean the world is too small.
That's true.
I have heard that game is beatable in about 18 hours
It's not bad.
with doing most of it. But apparently it's non-linear and you can do things in a lot of different orders.
You know what? Even if it's not big, if it's dense, I'm fine with that. If there's a lot to do in a small area, that's totally fine by me.
I believe it's Rebellion, right? The guys that make the Sniper Elite series.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
It sounds like
no
they give you a
idea.
lot of freedom with it too. I've seen clips and stuff of I think you can kill basically any NPC, which yes can break the game, but it's I don't know. I feel like it's kind of brave of developers to give the players that much freedom. I feel like a lot of games these days, you're very not railroaded. That's not the right word, but it's very much you can't kill this NPC because if you do, then this quest line breaks, and we don't want
It's
to
like-
have to deal with that.
It's like bowling with bumpers in the
Yeah,
gutters.
That's a really good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like there's no stakes at that point. Like it feels like like you're limited by what the world is limiting you to,
Yeah.
rather than like you don't feel like you're immersed in it at that point.
Yeah. Flip side of it is you do have to be careful because I haven't played Atomfall yet either. But I know, in some games it can be easy to accidentally damage NPCs or kill NPCs if you're in a big kind of group fight, I guess. So I could see that being a point of frustration as well if it's not super easy to avoid. But cool that they're giving you the freedom to do it though.
That does look cool. I have it downloaded. I'm planning on checking that out next week. Busy all weekend with family stuff, but after that I'm going to jump into it. I myself have been playing a lot of fighting games, been getting back into that. I think out of the four of us, I'm the most into fighting games and the FGC and stuff. Not that I'm good. I'm actually pretty trash. But I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6, learning how to play Bison, trying to figure out his combos and stuff, trying to climb through ranked, and that's been fun. I've gotten you to play with me a bit there, Aiden. We were playing Tekken yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's something that I played a lot when I was younger. Like growing up, like Street Fighter was everywhere. Like, I mean, literally everywhere. You go to the corner store and they'd have a Street Fighter cabinet. Go to a pizza place, they'd have a Mortal Kombat cabinet. So it's neat kind of going back to it. I never really, like I said, I was never really super into it earlier, but now it's fun. It's something that's much more fun to play when you're actually up against someone who can challenge you and who's someone who like, gives you some like who makes you want to be better at it.
Yeah, it's also like from since I've been getting back into the scene, it's just such like a inviting community for the most part. I mean, people get salty for sure. But like it's like a very like cool, I would say it's like the least toxic gaming community out there.
That's nice to hear. I know a lot of gamers can be pretty toxic, myself included. So
You thinking about getting back on into the because you played a little bit of Street Fighter with me like a year or so ago, Sebastian. You thinking about getting back into it?
I might give it a try. I'd started learning a character, I think, back when I was playing before, but never really got out of the combo challenge arena, whatever you call it, the combo training
Yeah, you were trying Jury, right?
mode. Yes.
Yeah.
Getting all those fancy kicks.
Nice.
But yeah, I'd give it another go. I might have to give it a download.
Speaking of fighting games, Noah, have you seen who's getting added to the upcoming fighting game Fatal Fury City of the Wolves?
Yes, I think it's ridiculous. uh,
For anyone who hasn't
Getting-
seen, they are adding the world famous footballer. Over here we call it soccer, which is weird because the team near us in Toronto is called the Toronto Football Club, Toronto FC. But anyways, they're adding Cristiano Ronaldo to a fighting game.
It's an interesting idea for sure.
No, what did you think when you saw the trailer?
I thought he looked really, really weird. The animation just makes him look so odd. It doesn't look like him at all, in my opinion. Yeah, it was just very odd, very, very weird. I think it's ridiculous. It's obviously just a marketing thing to try to get more people to see the game.
Yeah,
So
there's definitely some uncanny valley when you look at the in-game model for Ronaldo. His
Yeah.
gameplay looks fun though.
The gameplay looks cool. I will say, benefit of the doubt, I think the uncanny valley-ness might just be because they have to make it in his likeness, but they do still have to fit the art style of the game.
True.
So I
Which is
feel
very
like
true,
you could,
yeah.
you could probably attribute some of the weirdness to that.
I don't know. To me, like the it's such a great concept for a character. Like the mechanics, everything that I saw in the trailer, like the sliding kicks, the bouncing the ball off of someone's head, the supers or whatever they call it in Fatal Fury, like all of that is just it's such a cool concept. But then they slap it on someone who just has like a bare minimum likeness to who he's supposed to be, and then they put his name on a jersey. It's such a cash in. Come on.
Yeah, the fact that it's a Ronaldo tie-in it feels a little bit like a cash in.
Like
I'm
it's a guy
serious.
like if you see the way fans and stuff react to him just walking down the street, like people are gonna flock to this game, just like Fortnite, just like when they added LeBron James and stuff like that, or if you're a wrestling fan when they added Roman Reigns or any of those people. It's just
Well, that's
I
the
don't know.
thing.
It's a cash in.
This could be like it, yeah. I can see what you mean by calling it a cash in, but like this could have like a huge impact on the fighting game scene. Like which for a long time was actually kind of like an obscure genre back in like early to late 2000s, where it's like the dark ages of like Capcom and SNK and fighting games and stuff, which has gotten kind of a resurgence lately. But this could be huge. Like I don't think basically anything kind of guest character in any game has the potential draw to bring in new people like this that's been done in any fighting game. I know Mortal Kombat's had a lot of guest characters, but Cristiano Ronaldo has, I believe it's 650 million followers on Instagram.
That's wild.
I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, no, that is very fair. You make a really good point, but
Yeah,
it's kind of sad when you get to the point where a football player draws more people to a fighting game than say like the Terminator.
I mean,
it is and it isn't because like
Or
he does he does have a broader appeal. Like there are a lot more people that are into football and Cristiano Ronaldo than into like, you know, a specific fighting game.
That's fair.
So
Yeah. No, I guess
like,
it's a very North American centric mindset.
and at the end of the day, like you want more players playing your game, right? And if he's gonna be the big draw, then and you can land, you know, whatever contract deal, whatever you call it, to actually get him into the game. I feel like you got to take the shot at it. And from the trailer, the gameplay actually looks like it might be kind of neat.
I just can't wait for them to for someone to make a mod that turns his character into Titus from Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, that's good. Honestly, yeah, they're just opening it up to reskins at this point in time.
I hope it does good things for the fighting game community. Like as much as people in this panel don't like Fortnite and stuff, it's a huge success, like a crazy success.
Bro.
I'm hoping this brings people into the fighting game scene. Anyways, segueing on the Nintendo Direct that happened today. Noah, you had a chance to watch this?
I did, yeah. It had some pretty exciting stuff in it. Some stuff that I was like, meh, not my thing. But yeah, there's some pretty interesting things. For me, Shadow Labyrinth, I was actually surprised that I didn't realize that was coming. That was coming out on Switch. That's that like new Pac-Man spin-off game. Which,
Like the
there's-
Metroidvania?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a secret level episode about it too on Amazon.
So weird.
It's
Right?
very weird, but it's weird enough that it's got my interest. Like
Yeah.
I'm curious enough about it just to see what it is. It could be cool. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I'm definitely if I get a Switch, Switch 2, then I'll definitely be picking that up and trying it.
I did notice in the trailer that they called the little yellow ball Puck.
Yeah,
Yes.
I noticed that as well.
So they're correcting it to the old because Pac-Man used to be Puck-Man,
Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
but
Yeah,
they
that's a
but they
good
didn't
point.
but they didn't want people just to erase part of the P.
Right.
That's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah, on the cabinets and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
But they're fixing it. Yeah, it seems cool. It actually seems kind of fun. I don't vibe with the art style. It doesn't look like anything in that game casts a shadow, and it's all made with like moving still images.
There's
Yeah.
definitely something weird about the visuals. I noticed that when I first saw it, because I think it was revealed at it was the PlayStation State of Play, I think. And I remember noticing it then that like there's something going on with the visuals. I don't know if it's a lack of shadows or it could even just be the 3D assets and very realistic 3D assets in like the 2D world. But
Yeah, it seems just very flat to my eyes. I don't think there's any kind of depth of
Mhm.
field. Everything just seems right there.
yeah,
But the gameplay actually does look kind of fun. I do like my Metroidvanias. I am a
Yeah.
Castlevania veteran.
If you're going to mention Metroidvanias, I can't believe you haven't already mentioned Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Like, that's an intriguing
Well-
one, but at the same time, like, I was never super into Metroid. I thought it seemed very interesting, you know, Samus with psychic powers.
Have you played the Metroid games or any of
I
them?
think I played the one on GameCube when I went over to when I was younger. I went over to a friend's house and played it because I didn't have one myself.
Oh, so you
but-
played like the OG Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's the last one I played.
Nice. Oh, they're so good. I love Prime series is great. I played 1 through 3. I haven't played every 2D Metroid game, but they're all good. I'm excited. I want to know your guys' take. I think that trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, I think it's called, which just makes me think
Yeah.
of Buzz Lightyear. Maybe he'll make a cameo. That looked too crisp and too smooth to my
it was
eyes.
very smooth. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
I'm thinking this was recorded on the Switch 2.
you might be right.
Yeah.
I think this
I
might
think
be the
you're right.
first time we've seen Switch 2 gameplay.
Honestly, because to me, the vast majority of this, I'm sorry to say, seemed like a lot of re-releases or things that could have been developed for older software. Now,
I'm-
that said, certain things like the Dragon Quest remakes, awesome. But-
Yes, the new Pixel remasters, right? For
exactly.
for 1
yeah,
and 2?
They're hard games to get back into. Like, they're great little time capsules in themselves for early RPGs or early JRPGs specifically, but they're not the most accessible games.
I do have I have Dragon Warrior on the NES, which is the same game, but I guess at the time they weren't able to use the Dragon Quest naming because I believe it was actually licensed by a D&D competitor at the time in North America. But Dragon
Oh,
Quest
really?
was like a TTRPG. I think I may
think
be
you're
wrong.
right. Yeah, I think you're right.
But yeah, I love. I haven't played all the Dragon Quest games. I have 6 on PS1, which I have not beaten, but I beat 8 on PS2, and that's one of my favorite PS2 games of all time.
Yeah, I've never played those games myself. I thought it was Zelda when I first saw it because when I was watching it on my phone as well, and I didn't see the first part, and all I got was the one shield with the symbol that on an angle. I thought it was the Hyrule symbol.
Oh yeah, I can
was
see
like,
how
oh.
you.
Yeah, I can
confuse
see
those.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was quite a few cool games actually at this Nintendo Direct. I didn't actually even think we were going to see Metroid Prime 4 until the April 2nd Direct. So I'm glad we did get to see some of it here. But there's they showed off a lot of stuff of both things we already knew about, but things we had not heard about before. Like, how do I say this? Rado Kuznawa, I probably butchered that, remaster, which seems to be,
Yeah.
it looks to be a part of the Devil Summoner series, which is a spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei series, which people more know it for its other spin-off, the Persona series. But yeah, that looks cool. I know you're a big Persona 5 fan there. What did you think of that?
It looked cool. I was unfamiliar with this particular game, but seeing the trailer for the remaster, it looked cool. I think the idea of being able to use like the demon summons outside of combat is pretty neat. Like it harkens back kind of to Pokemon games, where you could have them use their moves and stuff outside of combat to like cut down a tree or like fly you to another town and that kind of stuff. So I'd be curious to check that out as a fan of other Atlas RPGs.
That does look cool. Yeah, I do like Atlas RPGs. I like how most of them seem to be intertwined with each other.
At the very least, they use like the same demons, I guess, for lack of a better term.
I think that's
like
just a Sega
the
thing
enemy
at this
summons.
point. Because they do that because Sega owns them, but they also own the studios that do the Yakuza games, and they pump out a game every year just because it's the same enemies, same locales. No, is there any standout games from this direct for you?
Standout games. I'm not really a Nintendo guy usually. So for me, most of these games I'm probably not going to end up playing. There was that one rhythm game though that actually definitely piqued my interest. The Rhythm Heaven Groove.
Yeah,
that one looked like a lot of fun.
That looks so good.
Yeah, I was going to mention the rhythm games as well. The Rhythm Heaven Groove, and then the Patapon remasters as well.
Yeah, there's also Rift of the Necrodancer as well, right?
Yes, which is a good game.
Yes.
I have that on Steam and have been playing it, and it is fun.
Oh, that's actually out now.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I saw Witchbrook pop up, I thought immediately it had like its own unique style to it, and I was like, "There's something about this that reminds me of other things." And when I saw it came out, like it's from Chucklefish. I don't know. There's something about Chucklefish that they're just such a great little publishing company themselves. Like they have so many little things that they've done for the genre behind the scenes that are just so similar to so many older games, and just they've taken it and modernized it. Like obviously Stardew Valley, Wargroove and stuff like that, taking the old advanced war games and bringing them to the modern systems and stuff. I really like them as a developer, and or as a publisher, and they have their own unique style that you can see from a mile away, it feels like.
Good shadow with Wargroove. Those games are fantastic.
There was that other cozy farming game too, Story of Seasons,
which is
I feel
just
like
a
that's
carry on from the old Harvest Moon games. Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be very popular.
Yeah, I mean a cozy
Absolutely.
farming game is never a bad shout.
Yes, I loved the old Harvest Moon games, and yeah, I believe it is the same creator that made I think he made the Harvest Moon games up till N64. Actually, maybe till DS, and then they like lost. I don't know if they lost the rights to the name Harvest Moon, but he started making Story of Seasons, and then all of the Harvest Moon games since then have been trash.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Harvest Moon was a foundational game for me growing up. The idea that you could just open up or start a farm and just build on your house and start a family.
I don't know if I've made this up in my mind, but I have memories of playing Super Nintendo version, but you have your dog, right? And I left my dog outside. You can like pick him up and take him out of the house, and I put him outside. And then every morning you wake up and you look at the weather report on the TV, and there was a hurricane, and he was gone. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, I guess my dog's dead. And then the next time, I still kept playing. The next time a hurricane happened, he was back.
If that is a detail that they like put into the game, that's incredible.
I have distinct memories of this, but maybe my my old brain's just playing tricks on me. But yeah, other old Japanese games coming back. Saga Front 2 Remastered came out today, got re-released today. That's cool. Never played those games, but they're like classic JRPGs back when squares were soft.
Hey.
Pokemon Legends Z and A. So as much as like Noah, you said you're not a big Nintendo guy. Everyone here's played Pokemon, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
did you think of this trailer for Pokemon ZA?
I didn't play the one before this.
It looks neat. I haven't played a ton of recent Pokemon games. I'm also not like a huge Nintendo guy. But it definitely looks cool. I like the setting, the kind of like wild zones inside of the city, and then the whole like day-night mechanic seems like it could be cool.
Aiden, what about you? What do you think?
It's been so long since I've played a Pokemon game. Honestly, like I can't get excited about them anymore. Everything just becomes so obscure to me. Like at least at one point in time, it just seemed distinct. But once you're up to the amount of Pokemon they have, it's just they're turning things like ice cream cones and stuff into Pokemon. I can't. I can't.
I do still like playing the Pokemon games. That to me is maybe more like what the kind of feeling you guys get when you play the survival craft games. It's just turn off brain chill kind of game. But the last ones, Scarlet and Violet, were I don't know if I'm the only one who beat those. They were so jank. It was such an undercooked game. They need to go back to making 2D games because even looking at this, it looks so dull to me, the city.
Yeah.
And like I just can't with the visual style of the modern games.
Yeah, and like graphics wise too, like I get that by today's standards, the Switch is a very underpowered console, but at least from the trailer that I saw, and maybe it was just the quality of the stream I was watching, the graphics looked 5 to 10 years out of date.
Is that how the old game looks as well? Like the last ones that came out?
Yeah, well, there is a little more color because it was like in Spain, but yeah, but
Right.
like things were not very detailed. Like textures were just like painted onto a lot of things. This one seems a
Yeah.
bit worse because I was looking at this trailer. All of the sides of those buildings are just flat with like PNG images on the sides, and they also just like the last ones ran terribly. Like you'd be in some parts of that world and you'd be running like 10 frames a second. I swear.
Which doesn't really make sense if the environment is lacking
Yeah,
in detail. The only thing I can think of why they would keep that art style for the buildings is like a callback to the old 2D games.
I guess the 2D games
I feel
looked
like-
better.
That I agree, but I don't know why they would do that though. It seems odd to make that decision. What was the first Pokemon game on Switch?
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield. To me, I don't see a visual improvement since then.
I actually think there's a downgrade since then because that one, Sword and Shield, was not open world like the way the last two were.
Right.
And they kept it more of like kind of traditional. There was a couple open areas, but they kept it more kind of traditional when you were in a town, like fixed camera angles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, the open
the art
areas were like the
style was
roofs.
fine. This new one just looks gray buildings and dull.
There's not a ton of character to the city, it doesn't seem. It's a lot of very samey looking buildings.
Yeah, I think at this point the Pokemon company just doesn't care because people are gonna buy them. Everyone's gonna buy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's confirmed if this one is on one. This might be only on one cartridge. Like it's ZA, but I haven't seen them do like Z and A separately for this. So this might be the first time in a long time they've only done one game. I guess well since Arceus, but Arceus was a spinoff.
But Arceus was also Pokemon Legends, wasn't it? So I think this is also a spin-off in that same
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
series.
Okay. Well,
and
that's good. I don't need to buy more than one
Yeah.
cartridge now.
and the kind of, I guess, open world sort of roaming and catching system, it from what I saw of Arceus, this seems to kind of follow that same vibe, I guess.
Yeah, Scarlet and Violet had a kind of a hybrid system. You still kind of walked around Pokemon like that, but they roamed. It wasn't just like random battles.
Yes, Sword and Shield I think had that as well in the open areas. Like you could bump into the Pokemon just kind of out in like a field or whatever, and then it would start the kind of battle sequence, if I remember correctly.
Well, this you would still fight them without entering. Some of them you wouldn't enter into a fight. It would just fight them
Yes.
in the open world, and you could just throw a Pokeball at them. But yeah, I think they just don't care anymore because everyone and their grandmother is going to buy this game. They actually, the video games make up, I think, less than 20% of the overall franchise's revenue. Here's a little mini game. Each of you say how much you think this franchise has grossed. Yeah, like how much money they've
Sorry,
brought
just-
in since their inception.
Just
Yeah.
games or everything?
Everything Pokemon related.
Oh,
So like games, TV show,
Merch, cards.
merch. Okay. Ooh, it would
Wow.
have. It's got to be like a couple $100 billion, I would think, at this point.
yeah, maybe
I'm gonna
more
s-
even.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like around 200 billion.
I'm gonna be conservative. I'm gonna say 100 billion.
I'm gonna say 300 billion.
Noah's the furthest. It's $150 billion. But still,
Wow,
it's the
that's
most
crazy.
money any franchise has made in the world. I'll just quickly go through a couple more things on the list here. We'll kind of shotgun them off here. Yeah, Rift of the Necrodancer we talked about. Tamagotchi, which apparently is Tamagotchi.
Yeah, I found that.
Yeah,
interesting.
right. What?
Well, I don't know. It could be like a Benedict Cumberbatch situation with penguins.
Yeah.
This next one is actually probably the one I was most interested in, which is The Eternal Life of Goldman, which seems to be like a very cool hand-drawn, almost Cuphead styled art Metroidvania platformer where you're an old man with a customizable cane.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome. I just love
Yeah,
the
you're,
art.
You're what's his face from Up?
You're the old man from Up.
Is it Carl? Is that his
Nice.
name?
This guy looked a little more friendly than
Yeah.
Carl.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
There was a sizzle
With a big
reel
rip.
of a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah, I saw that High on Life is coming to Switch.
The Wandering Village is also a pretty cool city builder. Yeah, it's already been out on Steam and stuff like that for a while.
They're making a new Hot Shots Golf. I don't know the last time I've seen a Hot Shots Golf. There was the new beat 'em up Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which I don't know who's
Heck
making,
yeah.
but it looked pretty cool.
That did
Gave
look
me
cool.
some serious X-Men arcade vibes. Like that looked awesome.
And maybe it'll do well with how much Marvel Rivals has been taking off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's good, like I think, Marvel Rivals was a well-made game. And I mean, it's a popular IP that everyone loves.
Patapon 1 and 2, fantastic Switch rhythm games. So they're coming to the Switch. Initially PSP, I believe. I think my friend had them back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I had them
The-
on PSP as well.
I had a demo, I think, of the first one on PSP.
And the last big thing from the Direct today was the virtual game card feature that's getting added, I believe, late in April to the current Steam, and I guess the Steam 2 whenever that comes out, which lets you lend your digital games to people in your Nintendo Family Member online account. If you're in the same area, you can give it to them through wireless, and then after 2 weeks, even if you're not together, it'll just transfer back to you.
It feels like they're trying to bring some of the convenience of physical media into the digital media, which is fun. Like, I don't know, there was something fun about, I remember back in elementary school, like you've got a friend who also has the same console as you. I remember doing it with like PlayStation 2 games, and it's like, hey, you've got this game, I've got, this other one. Why don't we swap them so that we can each, play a different game? And it's something that you haven't been able to do for a while with digital media, because you buy it and it gets locked to your account. So it's cool that they're trying to, I guess, innovate in the space.
So I actually never thought of it that way.
It's one game per person as well, right?
Yes, and when you lend it to someone, I do not think you can play it yourself until you get it
Yeah.
back.
That's my understanding as well. Because I think the idea is it's like you're giving them the
The
physical
cartridge.
cartridge.
The other thing, I guess this would really benefit like families with like more than one kid as well.
Yep,
Because then
for
you need
sure.
to buy one copy and
Oh,
then you can just give it
absolutely.
to each kid. So it
Yep.
it
Yeah.
does save them a bit of money there at least. And it makes it more like how it used to be. Like you could buy multiple Game Cubes and then have one disc that could go between them. Each kid could play a different game on different television if you had it.
It also means there's no fighting over a physical, piece of
Yeah.
plastic, I guess, in terms of the cartridge. You know, it's like, oh, you know, Jimmy's got it in his Switch right now, so he's the one who's gonna get to play it.
My initial thought, it was where it was like a little cartridge that you would put in the top and you could save a bunch of different
That's what I thought too. Yeah, you could like upload your game, like certain games
Yeah.
to it that you've downloaded or whatever. Like,
I don't know. I like seeing the innovation in the kind of digital media space because I feel like for a long time, basically since it started, it's been locked to this account bought it and this account can play it.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see them bringing back some of the sharing features.
I'm probably still gonna buy my games physically just because I like to collect physical media and I just like the
Which is fair.
tangibilityness of it. But it is cool that you can share the whole 2 weeks thing. Seems like a good amount of time you can lend to someone. We are running a little low on time, so we're gonna move on to the next segment, which is
Mhm.
I think I'm just gonna go around the table here and basically just get one maybe hopeful reveal for the Switch 2 announcement or some feature you think that might potentially be at it or a game that could be coming out. And yeah, we'll go around and we'll throw it to Noah.
So there's a new square button. I'm interested to know what that does on the system. So I have no idea what that will do. It might just be a random button, but maybe it's something new that does something different than what some of the new games.
I straight forgot about that.
It has a second USB-C port, which I can understand for charging while you're using it on a tabletop. But then I'm also wondering if there's going to be extra added accessories that maybe you can get added on as well, like a second screen or a bigger screen or something like that.
That could be cool. If you could attach the screens, if you could attach 2 of them or get a second screen that's just a screen, you could potentially then be playing DS and 3DS games.
Yeah, or even other accessories that will give the Switch like new, like be able to do different things in games. Like you have dedicated things that will hook up to a USB-C port, and because it's a USB-C port, you can do. It's like you can attach a different type of controller to it or something like that.
Yeah, it'll be neat to see what those things all work out to be function wise. Any games you think might be coming or anything you'd hope to see? I know you're not a big Nintendo guy, but
The launch title's fun though. Mario Kart's always fun. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a ton of launch titles. I feel like there's going to be a very, really small amount of them, and then there's going to be a bunch coming later.
I feel like you'd have to have at least a decent amount because you got to entice people to buy the console somehow. But yeah,
yeah,
I don't-
in a Nintendo kind of way.
I guess a new Mario game would be pretty good.
yeah, we haven't had a proper one since Odyssey.
I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that and a remaster of like an older Zelda game, something like Ocarina of Time. I could see them announcing that. That would be really exciting, actually.
Remaster or remake?
I guess at this point it would probably be a remake.
Zelda 2 remake, let's go.
I honestly
Um,
think they're just going to cash in and re-release Wind Waker again.
Do the Mario Kart 8 with Wind Waker.
You know what? And I'm fine with it because like the last time it was available in its like solid condensed form was Wii U.
Fair.
You know,
I'd love to
it
see
is a
them
great
bring
game.
back-
It's just too vast.
Yeah, I'd love to see them bring back a Dormant series. Get a new F-Zero game or something.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, now I'm wondering like what is a good solid like dormant Nintendo series that they could bring back on a modern console.
I mean, they did it
Uh,
with Fire Emblem. That took off.
Yep.
So they could.
Yeah,
Honestly, a new Star Fox would be good if they
I was
could
gonna
do it
say
well.
Star Fox.
Have they done Donkey Kong?
Not really. Not since Tropical Freeze have they done like an actual new one.
Could maybe see a new Animal Crossing as well because I think the last one it came out during the pandemic, right? That's why it was so
Yeah.
huge.
That would definitely be
Dude.
Nintendo printing money.
Although I don't know,
What-
like, I mean, it would still obviously be a big game, but I don't know if it would do as well now. Like, I think it came out at the perfect time. Everyone was in quarantine and nobody had anything but time. So let's all just build our islands and show them off to each other.
I'm guessing there'll be a new Smash as well at some point.
That man has retired like 4 times.
True.
Uh,
I feel like they make a ton of money off that, and if fighting games are getting more popular, then that would also attract people from the Nintendo side of things.
I feel like for at least for the next generation, they're gonna treat Smash Bros. Ultimate like this last generation of the Switch treated Mario Kart 8.
Are they
Like,
just
they'll
going to
bring it
keep
to the new
dragging it
console.
forward?
They're just gonna remaster it
Yeah.
and just add a little bit more.
Honestly, I'm gonna go way out of left field here, and I think that they should finally come up with a full 3D Wario game.
Yes.
Ooh.
Like
Wait.
full 3D destructible terrain,
say
fucking Wario.
You say finally like that never existed.
A full immersive 3D Wario game?
Yeah, Wario Land GameCube, my friend.
I did not know that actually.
Or is it
Oh,
Wario
okay.
Land? Or sorry, Wario World.
Really was okay. Well, here I thought I was being innovative.
Wario World remastered.
Everything's been done.
I do think what you were saying before about Wind Waker potentially coming. I do think GameCube's games are going to be coming back because there was rumors of Nintendo making a wireless GameCube controller for this gen, which I'm thinking maybe they're finally going to add GameCube games to the online service.
That would be cool.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, just quickly throwing this out there, Golden Sun.
Oh, yes, that would be fantastic.
Like, how is there not been a Golden Sun game in however long?
Yeah. I personally would want, support their back catalog. I'm a big Fire Emblem guy. I would love a Fire Emblem collection.
That would be cool.
Nintendo never does collections. Like, also Pokemon collection would be fantastic, but they're never going to do it because Nintendo's weird.
Could you
Yeah, but the
imagine
issue-
actually a solid Pokemon collection where you could have all of them in one cartridge?
It wouldn't be
'Cause
that
they're
hard.
not available. They're not available in so many ways nowadays. So like,
Yeah.
if they were to release one solid collection, even of just like the Game Boy games, you don't even have to go past Game Boy. That's a license to print money.
Exactly.
Yeah, the issue with that though is like if you're going to release a collection of multiple games for the price of, one major release, technically what you're doing is releasing all of those individual games at a discount. And we all know that Nintendo is allergic to discounts.
Right, they're being sold at the price that they were sold at back when they came out.
Yeah, the Nintendo tax, which only really started with the Wii U generation. We're all gonna pay it. We know we're gonna pay it.
Yep.
So they can
And
get
they know
away
we're
with
going
it.
to pay it.
They know
That's
we're
why
gonna
they get away
pay it.
with it.
Shut up and take my money.
Yep.
Yep.
So now that kind of brings us to the end of our show. But first, I have a game, sort of a game, that
Yeah,
I
you
wanted to
teased
play
this.
with you guys. And those at home can kind of play along too. But we're going to be doing a random tier list.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm going to choose a topic. And then I'm also going to give you one at a time. Like you guys can vote on where you want to place them. But basically one at a time where you want to place the prompt that I give you in the tier list. Like I'm not doing this one, but like say, Pokemon, rate the Pokemon. You have 10 slots. I randomly select some of the, original 150.
Okay.
You have to,
all right.
not knowing what comes next, put them in order.
Oh.
Okay. So not like
Okay.
tiers
Blind
like S,
pick.
A, B. We're just doing a blind ranking.
Yeah,
1 through 10.
one through 10. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And so for the first episode, our category is best video game sidekicks.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Dom Gears of War.
Oh.
Oh, has no one played Gears?
8. I like Dom. He was pretty great. If he's going to be in a top 10, yeah, he's probably around like 8, 7 or 8. Like
8.
he was a good
I cried,
narrator,
man.
but like he wasn't. Yeah, like I do. Okay, now that the more I think about it, the more I talk about it, yeah, he was a solid sidekick. But
I mean, if your
I don't
castmates,
there's
think
better.
immediately of him.
if your
you're
castmates
worried there's
don't, sorry, what did you say?
You're worried there's better. That's why he's ranking them so low. He's worried that the list that you have is just all gas.
That's true. It could be all
That's
gas.
true. I mean, yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
It
We
could
got to
just be
start
all gas.
conservative here. Yeah.
I have played a bit of it with you, Darren. I think Gears of War.
Yes,
Yeah.
we played the first one.
Yeah, I think 8's a bit low. I think you gotta put him a bit higher.
Do we throw them in the middle? Do like a 6?
I think a 6. Yeah, that's good. You okay with that, Aiden?
Yeah. I say split the difference and do 7.
Sounds good to me.
So 7
Okay.
for Dom from Gears of War.
And not knowing what else is coming up.
Exactly. Come on, that's the first one.
Let's see. So next we have Diddy Kong.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
He's
Seba-
top end of the list for sure.
Yeah, he'd be high.
I'm thinking 3 or 4, honestly, because
I
like
think-
I'm just thinking of other people that are more like definitive. Like I'm not going to say names because I'm sure they're going to come up, but like I think if he's not 3 or 4, he's 5 at least, at the very
Yeah.
least.
There are definitely other people who I would put, or other sidekicks that I would put higher personally, but it's just I don't know if they're going to be coming up.
Yeah, very few tag teams like Donkey and Diddy. However, he is also named after Diddy at this point. So,
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this
I
is the
don't know.
Diddy we can still talk about.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we separate the two.
So where are you thinking?
I'm down for 3 or 4. I think that's appropriate. I haven't played many of the games, so
well,
Right.
there's 4 of us here, so let's go with 4.
All right.
All right.
sounds good.
This one, HK-47.
Oh fuck yes.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Sebastian's played this, but I know Noah a lot of these other ones that he might not have played. So
I've played that one for sure.
I played a little bit of that game, but
now you guys can fight.
HK-47 is awesome.
He's awesome, but I don't think of him as like definitive.
Completely
now,
agree.
Now I'm regretting Dom. I'm gonna put HK at 10. I'm sorry, like he's
10?
awesome. He is very definitive in that game, but until Darren mentioned him right now, when was the last time you thought of him?
Good point. But not 10. At least 9. Because we got to save 10 for like the worst one that Darren's picked out.
That's true. Oh
What if
man,
there's-
yeah, I am regretting Dom. Yeah, all right, 9. I say 9.
All right, HK-47 from KOTOR at 9.
He's so funny though.
He's great. No, he is great. Absolutely. I feel like
He
they
arguably
really,
is
like,
also he's more of like a side kick than a sidekick.
Keeping it in the same vein of sci-fi RPGs, Garrus Vakarian,
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect,
Yeah.
2007.
He's
Can't say
he's
no.
good.
he is good.
He's good.
I haven't played enough Mass Effect to have as much of an attachment as I know a lot of people do to Garrus. Because I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot of people that would put him like top 3, if not top. But
Yeah, I'm happy to put him 5, like right in the
Yeah.
middle.
I
think that'd
know
be
him
fair.
well enough to know that he is a solid character. So yeah, I'm okay with 5.
All right, so 5 it is. Little known robot as Clank.
I was waiting for this one.
1.
Yeah, for
One.
me personally,
One.
this is an easy one.
Ratchet and Clank games are great.
I grew up on that series. It's probably my most played single gaming franchise. For me, Clank would be an easy one.
Or do we put it 2 in case there's someone better?
I don't know Ratchet and Clank
Wow.
on PlayStation All Stars.
What?
Yeah,
That's
like,
heresy.
I know them from the one fighting game, but
Yeah,
at that
which was
point
an
in
underrated
time,
game, but
yeah, like, it was an awesome game, I think. But at that point in time, like I had moved past PlayStation.
So what do we think then?
Noah and I
I,
put him at 1. What do you,
I
or
say
two.
at best 2. At
Okay.
best 2 because we never know who one is going to be.
Yep, that's fair. I'm okay with 2.
You guys agreeing for 2?
Yep.
So we've got 1 is free, so 2 is Clank, 3 is
Mhm.
open, 4 is Diddy Kong, 5 is Garrus, 6 is open, 7 is Dom, 8 is open, 9 is HK-47, 10 is open. We're 5 in, we're half through. So Lydia, Elder Scrolls 5.
I haven't played that game.
The
What?
amount of times, you haven't played Skyrim?
No.
Wow.
Or not enough of it.
The amount of times I've shouted her off of a cliff,
Yeah,
she's
I am
so
s-
annoying.
I am sworn to carry your burdens.
She might be either an 8 or a 10 for me. Like
I mean,
she is
she's-
great as a pack mule.
She's iconic. I feel like everybody knows her, at least who's played the game, because you don't have to get that far to find her. But I feel like she's either like bottom end or top end, just because of the shenanigans that you can do to her.
How early in the game do you see her?
Pretty
Uh,
early.
You get her, I think, as soon as you finish all the stuff in
Whiterun.
Whiterun.
Oh, is it really that far into the game?
No, you don't have to finish everything. You basically just have to do the first 2 missions.
Yeah, like the story.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, yeah, sorry, yes, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've played the game up to that point, and I don't know who she is. So there you go. I think that gives us the answer.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say either 8 or 10. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
10,
8,
10,
8 or 10.
10.
10?
I'm okay
Come
with that.
on. Yeah, like you said, bottom or top, and if she's not the top, she's the bottom.
All right, Lydia at 10. Yoshi.
Oh,
Is 3 taken?
No.
he's not taken. Neither's 1. I think 3.
would be good. Yeah,
3.
I don't know if I'd put Yoshi all the way at the top, but
I
he's
wouldn't
up there
put-
for sure.
I wouldn't put him above Luigi in case Luigi comes up.
That's kind of what I'm. Yeah. Although,
It's
yeah.
but I'm also kind of worried about Navi. Actually, no, Navi's annoying. Yeah, 3.
I
Yoshi.
was gonna say she's iconic, but she's annoying, so I don't know if I
Yeah.
put her up top.
No. Yeah, Yoshi's 3. Yoshi's always useful. You can literally
Yeah.
sacrifice Yoshi.
He literally gives his life for you just to make a little bit of an extra jump. Do you guys know Yoshi's full name?
No.
No.
Is it Yoshi Yoshi?
No, it is T. Yoshisaur Munchakoopas.
That's
Oh,
fantastic. I like it.
So Esquire.
Okay, so we got another one here. Tails miles per hour.
Tails is annoying. I'm sorry.
You don't like Tails from Sonic?
You drag him around everywhere.
Also, I only recently
Um,
realized that his name is his full name is a pun.
Yeah, miles per hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you
okay putting him 8.
Yeah, you got 1, 6, or 8. 8?
Yeah, I think 8.
8.
Okay. What's
I
up
worry
next?
We're gonna get stuck with someone we don't want at 1, but
we got
Probably.
dog meat.
okay.
Yeah, that's a solid 6. That is a very solid 6, I think. It has no personality beyond being dog.
Yeah, but is being dog alone enough to be 1?
Ooh.
I kind of feel like there's an argument there.
Dog meat's a good boy.
I also
He's the
kind of
best
feel like
boy.
Darren may have poisoned us here, and by making the
know.
last person complete trash.
That's kind of what I'm worried about.
Have any of them been
But-
complete trash other than Lydia?
None of them have been complete trash, and Lydia honestly is only complete trash because of the memes.
True. I can't realistically say dog meat is better than. I mean, can you realistically say dog meat is better than Clank?
Personally, no, but I don't know. I worry about what we're going to be stuck putting at 1 if that's the only open slot. But I'm okay with either.
You know what? You're right. Let's make 1 a good boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Certified good boy.
Number 1 certified good boy.
Sure.
He is a good boy. Okay, so we've only got spot 6 left, so that's wherever this
Mhm.
falls. I have 2
Yeah.
left on my spreadsheet, and I'm flipping a coin to see which one it is.
Oh no. Okay. You got to tell us what the other one was though afterwards.
Afterwards,
I
yeah.
will.
But also you
Okay.
should just start going down the list now and just give us 6 at 6.
Number 1, we had dog meat. Number
Yeah.
2, Clank from Ratchet and
Yep.
Clank. 3, Yoshi. 4, Diddy Kong. 5, Garrus. And
Mhm.
6
Yes.
is Daxter
Okay.
from Jack and Daxter.
I was wondering if Daxter would show up.
I'll accept that because I don't know him.
You
Yeah.
don't know him. You've never
I
heard of him?
Personally,
I know him. I know who Jack and Dexter are, but PS2, early PS3, wasn't interested. Like to me, I was expecting Kazooie to come up.
I almost went with Kazooie, but I already chose a rare
That's
with
fair.
Diddy Kong. So,
No, that's fair.
but the other one you could have been saddled with was the companion cube.
Oh, that would have been the one.
Oh, that would have been a solid one. That
Oh
would have been
no!
a solid one.
Companion Cube getting stuck at 1 wouldn't have been the worst.
No, that would have been a solid one. Yeah.
That would have been
But
funny.
it could also be left out because its feelings don't
True.
get hurt.
No, but you murder it.
Alrighty, so I'll go through the list here one more time. So we have 10 is Lydia,
Mhm.
9 HK47, underrated, 8 Tails, 7 Dom, 6 Daxter. We are slowly getting pretty good here. 5 Garrus, 4 Diddy Kong, 3 Yoshi, 2 Clank, and number 1 is the best boy dog meat.
I don't hate
I
that.
think
yeah.
that's a pretty good list. That's
That-
a
For a
pretty good
blind
list.
ranking, I think that turned out pretty good.
That's
Yeah,
not a
for
bad
blind
ranking.
list. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. But
I can
that's
accept that.
all we have for today. And anyone is listening to this, all 2 of you, put your own ranking down in the comments. I'm going to be posting this to a few places. I know YouTube's going to be one of them. So I know you can put it down below there. I don't know on other platforms if it's off to the side or up in the air or what have you, but wherever it is. But yeah, make your own list. And I hope you had fun hanging out with us. Yeah, again, it's Darren, Sebastian. Make a noise.
Goodbye.
Aiden.
Hello.
I didn't tell
goodbye.
him I was doing this. And Noah.
Goodbye.
Baba the Boopy.
Abba-da-boopy.
It's okay. He's Italian. Thanks for hanging out with us. This was Mandatory Cutscenes. We'll probably be doing this semi-regularly to maybe regularly. Who knows? Get spicy. Thanks for tuning in. hope you all enjoyed it and have a good night.
We'll see you next time.
Good night, everybody.